Hi everyone, and welcome back to Health Kick with Dr. K, with myself, Dr. K, and my co-host, Pastor Charmaine. Thank you for joining us. Today we are talking about fitness for seniors, and because I wanted to make sure that everyone goes home with something tangible to be able to do, put it on repeat and just do it at home, I wanted to make sure that we started off with the workout part first, and then we go into other important details about fitness for seniors. So, if it wasn't live, this is where we'd have the disclaimer saying talk to your healthcare professional if you need to start this workout. Make sure that you don't do anything that is going to be painful. Work within your body's range of motion. Listen to your body.
Yeah.
I think I covered them all.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do to start, this is a seated workout, so you really don't need any equipment at all. And we're just going to do a little bit of a warm-up, check in with the body, see what's kind of tight, what's feeling like it needs a little extra attention. So we're going to start with the neck, and just very slowly doing a neck circle. And just whatever ability that you have, you don't need to extend your head or anything, but just doing nice slow circles. Feel where you have any kinks going on. We'll do one more this direction. And then we're going to switch sides. We're going to do 3 of those as well. Nice and slow, making sure that you're breathing. Nice, good, deep breaths as well. Good. Then we're going to do some shoulder shrugs. So just lifting the shoulders up to the ears pretty well and then dropping them back down. Up to the ears, back down. We're going to do 2 more like that. 1 more. Good. Then we're going to do some circles. We're going to go circles back. And if you're feeling really ambitious and you feel really tight, you can make bigger circles, whatever you have space for in your environment. Good. You might hear some clicking, maybe your shoulder feels a little unstable. That's okay, make the circles a little bit smaller. Then we're going to do forward. Same thing, just nice and slow, getting the joints moving. Good. All right, then what we're going to do is we're going to do some seated marching just to warm up the body, because then we're going to start getting into the workout piece of things. Very good. Pastor C is really nice. She, agreed to join in. She changed her wardrobe for today. It's great. Good. And then once we got the marching going, then what we're going to do is make sure that our ankles are really good and loose. You're going to flex the foot and point the foot. Flex and point. Flex, point. Good. Now this is a good one to do if you've had any ankle injuries. Our ankles feel really stiff. This is a nice one to do. Good. And then we're going to do some circles to the outside. Circles to the inside. Good. Then we're going to switch sides. We're going to flex, point, and flex. Good. Then we're going to do some circles. How you doing there, Pastor C?
I'm holding up.
Good. And then we're going to switch directions. Good. Then once you feel that you're warmed up, and again, you can always extend this, then we are going to move into the pillow squeeze and the leg extensions. There we go. Just had to adjust our camera angles here. Perfect. So if you have a pillow at home, you can put it between your knees, just because sometimes squeezing your legs together can feel a little bit pinchy when you have just your knees there. So let's say we had a pillow here. Then you would squeeze your knees together and do a 3 count. So instead of going, fully gung-ho right on it, just super tight, you actually want to work into it so that you're starting a little bit light, medium, and then tight as you can.
Okay.
Right? And that gradual contraction actually helps you to recruit more muscle fibers, meaning that the muscle is contracting more efficiently. So we're going to do some more of those. We're going to do 10 of each of these. And the funny thing is that this stuff, it looks easy, but you feel the burn.
You feel it.
You feel the burn. Good. We're going to do 3 more like that. One more. Good. And then the next one is going to be leg extension. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep your legs nice and tight together, and then what you're going to do is you're going to extend your legs and really focus on contracting the quads there. Good. And do 10 of those as well. Yep, keeping those quads nice and tight.
You feel the burn behind the leg and on the top.
Right, exactly. It's a fun surprise. You're like, oh, it's just the top of your leg, but nope, the back joins in as well.
You have to use your back to support yourself too. Yeah,
that's right. If you've got some little ankle weights at home, that's another way to make this more difficult. We'll do a couple more like that. Good. And always remember to breathe throughout all of these, because you get the burn.
Oh yeah,
you
do.
Right?
Yeah.
The next one is a hamstring exercise. So if you have a chair that has a bit of a thicker leg on it, what you would do is put your heel against the leg of the chair or your couch, and you're going to progressively push your heel into the leg of the chair or couch. Okay. So same idea with this one. You're going to do a 1, 2, 3 and increase the force as you get to 3.
Okay.
Okay. So you do a 1, 2, 3, tight, and then relax. One, 2, 3. We'll do one more on this side. Good. And then we'll switch sides. Same thing on the foot of your chair. And then progressively 1, 2, 3. And relax. 1, 2, 3. And relax. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And
where does this work? Where does this one work out?
So this one is going to be the back of the leg, so the hamstrings. Yeah. Okay. Next one is going to be the calf raise. So if your feet can touch the ground, then that's kind of ideal. But what you're going to do is you're going to point your toes so that you're contracting the back of your legs there. Good.
Like a ballerina.
That's right.
Tippy toes.
That's exactly it. We'll do 10 of those as well. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right. So, and the other thing I didn't mention at the beginning too is that, work your way through this once, but then you can repeat it. You do 3 sets of 10 of each of these, and every time you get stronger, maybe you add, an extra set, or maybe you add some reps. Next one we're going to do is the chest press. So this one, if you have a band at home, you can just kind of loop it behind your back and then push out. And that'll act as kind of like your chest press. But if you don't have any equipment at all, that's no worries. What you're going to do is you're just press your palms together, and then you just do the same thing, the 1, 2, 3 progressive tightening. And then what you're going to feel is kind of just across here, that it gets tight there, right? Good. Front of your shoulder might start to burn a little bit too. That's okay, that's good. The 1, 2, 3. We'll do 4 more like that.
So really, there's no reason we can't do any exercise because this is so simple.
Yeah.
It's in a chair.
That's right.
And, you could feel the burn.
Yeah, no equipment, seated. And that's the thing too, like people get, very involved with work, and then they end up sitting for, 8 to 10 hours a day. But meanwhile, boom, you just kind of bust this out, do a couple, maybe you go back to doing work, maybe you do a couple more, but at least it's something in between, right? I don't know about you, but you feel warm.
Oh,
right?
no, I thought they look easy, but they're not, they do give a burn.
Good. The next one is for the back. So you're basically going to pretend like you're using a rowing machine. And what you're trying to do is squeeze your shoulder blades together. So when you bring your elbows back, you're squeezing the shoulder blades together. Good. This helps with the posture, especially when you're working at the computer. Reverse so that you're not always having your arms forward.
And normally at the computer, you slouch over.
Yeah, exactly. This forces you to sit up nice and tall.
Yeah.
We'll do 2 more like this. Good. All right. So the last exercise in this series is an ab exercise. So this one, you may feel it in your arms, but eventually when you get the hang of it, once you start to feel it in the upper abs, you'll know that you're doing it correctly. So basically what you do is you put your hands on your thighs, and then the action that you're trying to prevent is basically this action.
Okay.
So you're going to use your arms to keep you from being able to bend forward, but that's what your torso is trying to do. So you're trying to push forward. And you will feel it in your arms, absolutely. But you should also feel it kind of in the top of your abs as well.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to do 10 of those. Push. Good. Push. Just as though you're trying to bend forward, but your arms are not letting you. Squeezing the abs nice and tight. Do remember to breathe during this one, because it is tempting to hold your breath. Sometimes breathing out as you kind of crunch down helps you remember to take your breath in and out. We're going to do 2 more like that. All right, very good. So then what you want to do after you do, because we did a warm-up, we did the workout, then you want to do a cool down as well, right? So what you'll want to do is just open the chest, because we did all that chest work, right? Just make sure that we open that space up again. Good. Then we'll do a side bend. And remember, these are great for any time. You don't have to wait until you do an exercise just to keep your mobility going, right? Keeping the spine nice and flexible is definitely a huge part of seniors' fitness as well as any other fitness. Good. And then we'll do this one where you can reach for your toes or just as far as you feel comfortable. Now that one you should feel kind of in the back of your legs. The further you reach, the more intense it is, but you want to make sure that you don't feel
Fall
any
off the
pain.
chair.
Yeah, fall off the chair, feel any pain. Yeah, if you have like a coffee table here, it's much easier. Very good. And then too, you know, like if you have that wrist stiffness, these are other exercises for you to do as well. So you can do this way, and you can also do this way, which is, again, typically a problem with very prolonged computer use and whatnot. And then you do the other side as well. This is where we would have, like, you know, the hair and makeup people come and just make sure to blot the sweat off our brow and, you know, all that good stuff. All right, very good. Okay, so from here into the beginning of the episode, this is what you can do at home,
yes.
right? And the more times you do it, the more difficult it becomes, and the more, you know, strong you're going to feel. And as I say, it's all looks very simple, but I promise you, once you try it, you will feel that your muscles are really working, and probably working in ways that they haven't had to in a while. So thank you for humoring me.
Thank you. Thank you for not making it too difficult.
So essentially, when it comes to seniors fitness, the most important things to remember is that age should not be a factor, right? You really do want to be able to focus on moving your body at any age, and whatever that capability may be. You know, today we did the seated workout, but hey, if you're feeling up to it one day, maybe you stand behind the chair and you do a couple, you know, squats maybe, or and that's the thing, is that your body and your energy change day to day, and that's for anyone, and that can do with, you know, lack of sleep, that can do with, you know, what you've eaten, whatever illness, you know, whatever the case may be that can affect those things. So definitely working within how you feel that day is very important. And I would say too, just remembering the warm up and the stretch. So everyone wants to like get right down to the workout kind of thing. But definitely preparing your body and mind for the activities that are coming is important. And then cooling down and making sure that you're stretching. And if at the warm-up, you know, maybe you noticed, oh, there's, you know, some tension in your neck, maybe you spend a little bit more time with that at the end of the workout, for example, as well, too. The other thing, the most common thing that I hear is, oh, no pain, no gain, right? Unfortunately, that is like the worst saying ever when it comes to working out, because if you feel a lot of pain during, you know, the workout, the next day you're going to be destroyed. You won't be able to work at the same level. Your recovery is going to be impacted. So for any of the stretches, for example, you just want to feel a stretch. It doesn't have to be, you know, that you don't want to feel like muscle tearing, nothing like that. Just very gentle, listening to the body throughout. Oh, balance. I did want to make a note about balance as well, because and I think this is important at any age, but I definitely have a couple of seniors that I'm working with right now that their main focus is they've had some falls.
Yes.
And they're really worried about that. And, you know, they're wanting to prevent them from happening in the future. So balance is also a big deal. And a lot of times what happens is stairs or just transferring, getting up from seated or getting up from their bed and moving to maybe another seat or whatnot. Now, practice makes perfect with balance, because the more often you practice doing something, the better you become at it. But you can do, again, simple, easy stuff at home. Practicing, you know, holding on to a railing, let's say, and then practicing shifting your weight. So standing on one foot and then just standing on the other foot, right? And trying to see how long you can hold it for. Stairs is a big thing that seniors typically feel really nervous about going up and down.
Yeah.
And I would say that you need to practice knowing where your limbs are, so where your body is, without looking at it. Because what happens is, you know, they get really focused at looking at their feet and looking at the stairs. But that's generally not how people go up the stairs. They're looking up at where they're going, and they're just going up the stairs because they know exactly, hey, my foot is going to go the appropriate height that it needs to go. But part of that trust comes from you practicing. So if you're standing at the bottom of a step, hold on to the railing, and then just practice putting your foot up and down on that step. And then try the other foot, right? Just practice up and down, practice getting faster at that, and then try a couple steps, you know, as you progressively feel more comfortable with it. But those are all ways to train yourself to feel more comfortable on the stairs going up and down. Is just literally, don't look at your foot, just try to tap the top of the step and the bottom. And then switch, don't look, keep tapping, hold on to something because it can, you know, shift off your balance a little bit. Yeah, and then if this workout is, you know, too easy for you, try it 3 sets and you're like, no, I think I can progress to something else, then always remember that swimming is a great option because there's not a lot of stress on the joints. Weightlifting is also very important to maintain
muscle building.
That's right, for maintaining muscle mass, for preventing, you know, osteopenia, osteoporosis. Very important, especially for women. Yoga is another great one. That one, very good with flexibility and balance, huge for that. And then also too, like there's a bunch of, you know, workouts online that have, like, you know, if you don't have any equipment, you just buy one of those little exercise bands. And there's a ton of videos online of just seated workouts using the exercise band.
So look up for seated workouts.
That's right. And that'll help you progress so that, you know, once you maybe try this a couple times and you feel comfortable with it, then you'll be able to move on to the next level. There's a couple of resources too that I wanted to mention. One is Ageless Grace, and that is a program that's been around for quite some time and is targeted towards seniors, but it incorporates a little bit more building brain pathways, essentially. So what it does is, like, for example, you know, they'll start with draw a circle. So then everyone's drawing a circle. Then while you're drawing the circle, well, now you have to point. So you have to draw the circle and you have to point, right? Without making this one. Without drawing circles with both hands, right? And then there's other school of thought where, you know, I have, like, when I'm doing balance work with my seniors, I have them talk to me, I have them tell me a story. Because it distracts your mind from what your body is doing. So it really tells me, are you able to not focus on, you know, what your feet are doing and still be able to do the actions? You know, other ones are like count in a different language or do some math. My favorite is the math. Because people are like, I don't know about the math, but it's a good one.
Because you have to think.
Right? Just like, well, you know, count back from 100 from threes or something, right? And that really takes your brain away from what you're doing.
Focusing on your feet.
But that's life, right? You know, you're talking on the phone and you're going up and down the stairs. Like, those are tasks that you've done before and that you can practice and build back as well. So Ageless Grace is a great resource for that. Another one is a book called Keep Sharp by Sanjay Gupta. And he's a medical doctor, and he has a bunch of just tips in there of how to keep your mind sharp, because that is part of it. You know, keeping your mind going, and just different tips and tricks in that book as well, which I'm sure is available online, some excerpts from that. So I think those are the kind of the main points that I wanted to hit on as far as that goes. Is there anything that strikes you?
Yes, I have a question. Say you were saying pain is not the best thing.
Yes.
But say if I did my workout today and I want to do my workout again tomorrow, but I'm finding that, I'm achy. I'm feeling pain. Should I take a day of rest or should I continue with my workout the next day?
So that depends, because some people, once they're in a routine, they get nervous if they break that routine. Then they won't go do it, right? So then I would say, okay, if you're feeling, let's say you did a strength training, which is what we did today.
Okay.
Then I would say, okay, maybe you switch it up. Maybe instead you do a little walk,
Okay.
right? Or maybe you practice, the step exercise to be more comfortable with the stairs, or, you practice your seat transfers or something. That's not to say you're not doing anything, but you're just working different muscles. Now, if the soreness is kind of tolerable, then I would say, okay, well, work within kind of what you feel. If you're doing your leg extensions, let's say, and you're like, oh, my legs are really tired, I'm not getting them all the way up today, then that's fine. Maybe put some more focus on the upper body.
Okay.
Yeah. So like maybe you do some, resisted bicep curls instead, or, yeah.
And when we do exercise as a senior, should we have something to eat before we do our exercise? Or, because sometimes some people say, oh, you should exercise more, maybe not eating as much. Is there anything, a rule of thumb around that for seniors?
So, yeah, I mean, seniors fitness is definitely different than somebody who's, hitting the gym trying to hit, like some personal records or whatnot.
Yes. Yeah.
But I would say because blood pressure bottoming out on you is a concern for seniors fitness, I would say make sure you have something to drink, make sure you have something light to eat. Maybe you have like a piece of fruit or, a piece of toast or something like that, so that you've got something in your system. But it wouldn't be where you have like a full meal and then next thing you know, you get like a muscle cramp because you're trying to digest.
Or feel nauseous or
That's
something.
right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Is there anything that you've noticed as you've gotten older that has been different for you as far as fitness and things that you worry about?
For me, what I've noticed is that it takes me longer sometimes to get, I not as fast as quick as when I was younger, okay? And more aches and pains.
Yes.
Yeah, more aches and pains.
Yes, and that's very common,
Yeah.
right? And I think it also comes back to remembering where your body is now, right? I hear people say like, oh, I just want to be 20 again, or I just want to have whatever. I'm just like, oh, are you sure? Because your body has gone through so much. Like maybe it's gone through childbirth, maybe it's gone through an illness or surgery or something like that. So the body you have now is different than the one that you had before, right? And it truly is about meeting yourself where you're at. And then that promotes the longevity of you being able to do, whatever workout that you want to do and keeping your body active. So, yeah, that is a huge part.
And I find also you're not as quick mobility likewise in the sense of like if someone was throwing something, you kind of, you're still there, but you notice that there's a difference. You're not as sharp as you're not dead, but you're not sharp.
Yes.
Yes. So you now have to you have to approach things a little different. Yeah.
Yes, reaction time for sure.
Reaction time. That was what I was thinking.
Absolutely.
Reaction time. Well, yeah, not as quick as it used to.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's something you have to be aware of. Yeah.
But I do think that we get very limited by saying that our age is what's stopping us. But your brain is so flexible. Your brain is so adaptable. It's very plastic. It can adapt to what you think. It can adapt to what you eat. It can be adapted to what kind of training that you do. So you really can learn these things again.
Yeah. And as you said, although we're seniors or going into our senior years, it doesn't mean that we have to just sit. There, we still can move. We still can do some of the things. We can still jog. We can still body lift. We can still do what we want to do.
That's
we
right.
just have to listen to our body.
That's right.
And follow what our body says. You know, we may do it slower, you know, but we still can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just wanted to thank Pastor C for joining in for the workout and you guys for tuning in. Next month, we're going to be talking about the structure of a workout. So if you've been wondering, you know, what's the best way to actually structure your workouts, that's what we're going to discuss next day as well. So thank you for joining, and we'll see you guys next time.